And welcome back to our English language gathering. Before we start, please reach out to your tens and invite them to join us. Also, please turn your cameras on so your friends will be able to see your smiling faces. To start, here is our opening intention. John?
Thanks, Richard. Rabash, article number 12, 1988. What are Torah and work in the way of the Creator? They are learning Torah in order to connect the heart. These are called wise-hearted, since everything is named after its action. For this reason, the Torah they learn with the intention is called wise-hearted and not wise-minded, since they need the Torah in order to correct the heart. Line, friends.
Thanks, John. Now, please give a warm welcome to our special guests sharing their life in the tens, members of KabU 12. Terrence?
Thank you, Richard. Hello, English speaking Clee. It's great to be here today. As he said, we are KabU 12, and we have this distinguished honor and responsibility to speak to you all about what life has been like in our 10 and some of what we've been doing. It's great to see so many faces. And I really just want to say the energy of just seeing you all here has already raised the importance just for us. So thank you for the opportunity. So we're going to start by talking about our experience with the Head of the 10 exercise, which we started this past week. Then we'll move into kind of what our life in the 10 has been as generally, and we'll end with some of the excitement that we've had as it relates to both the upcoming retreat and other in-person events and congresses that we've been to. So that'll kind of be the flow. And yeah, we want to open our hearts to you, and we're here for you, and we're excited to be able to work on your behalf. So this past week, our 10 started the Head of the 10 exercise. And I had the responsibility of being the first person who got to serve as the head of the 10. And this brought a lot of discernments within our 10. Transparently, our 10 took some time with this decision. We felt that there was a lot of importance in this Head of the 10 exercise. We've been doing shots and goodbye, but there was something about this that made us say there's something more to this, and we need to take our time to really understand what it means and how we're going to do it. And a lot of us had a lot of different things going on, and we had to figure out, what is this? How do we step into it? It feels different than what we've always been taught, but our sages and Rav is telling us that this is where we need to go. So let's go here. So this past week, we dove in, and we started with really talking about recentering in the why. Okay, we had this macro vision of, we're here, we do this work a lot, but what is the why of our lives? And it's the key in recentering the fact that this path is the ultimate goal of our life. So that's kind of what we dove into, because the purpose of creation sets the tone for everything else. So that's what we focused on in the mornings, and then in the evenings we had lessons that were more on the practical. How do we annul before each other? How is the fact that this path is the ultimate why of creation? How does that ultimately come back to the fact that we have to serve each other and focus on each other's spirituality? But beyond what we got into, the most important thing that um, we feel we've kind of discovered with this exercise is that the Head of the 10 exercise is more than anything else. It's the ultimate exercise in Arvut. So while serving as head of the 10, you know, serving as head really means serving as the heel. You're responsible for everyone else in the sense of their importance. Rabash has told us the main thing we need is the importance of the goal and to inspire responsibility in our friends. And when you're the head of the 10, that falls on you. And it really dawned on me that, wow, this exercise, each of us stepping up to bat to do this exercise is essentially teaching us how we're supposed to act in the 10 all the time. That's essentially something that we felt. So we were throughout the week, when it's different, when you're the head of the 10, your job is to serve everyone. Your job is to make sure the importance is there. Make sure you're thinking about the 10 throughout the day. And when you don't do that, it's like, oh man, the rest of the 10 is resting because they're thinking that, oh, I'm thinking about them. So when I drop it, it's like, oh goodness, I've got to go back to that. Or when I'm not in the morning lesson or when I'm not watching the morning lesson, it's one thing when I'm just in another situation, but when you're head of the 10, it's like, I have to watch the morning lesson. I have to listen to the morning lesson from my brothers. I have to think through, I have to make sure I'm keeping them in my heart at all points and at all times. So it's the ultimate exercise in Arvut, and that's something that our discernment has helped us with in understanding as to why Rob asked this of us. Arvut is all about, the 6,000 loyal lovers, knowing that they're covered. You knowing you have 6,000 loyal lovers who are advocating, praying for you to be able to see spirituality as the most important thing. And when you're head of the 10, that responsibility is on you, but it helps you see. It's like a fractal. We talk about fractals a lot in Kabbalah. It's like a fractal that really shows this importance, this responsibility that I feel right now. This is how I should feel all the time. Yes, I'm going to annul before another head of the 10, but also the sense of I can't let this drop. The sense of everything is the entire mood and the entire energy of the 10 is dependent on how hard I'm focusing on the goal, how much I'm inspiring them. That's how we all need to feel throughout this path. And this exercise, by putting each one of us up to bat to be in this position, is like training that muscle so that we can step into that at all points in times. So for this first part, if we were to impart anything to our friends in the English speaking clique, anything to be understood, it's that this exercise is something that is truly beautiful and it's truly game changing for us. It's truly game changing for the 10. It's okay if you feel trepidation. It's okay. All the different things come up. Oh, the ego. Am I going to look this way if I do it? Or are the friends going to look at me that way? That's all real. We're not here to pretend that that's not there. But what's the point? The point is that you push through that. Again, it's a microcosm of what the path is anyway. It's all about how much you care about the friends, how much you care about the goals. So if you haven't started the head of the 10 exercise and you feel trepidation, it's okay. We did too. But when we stepped in it, it was a beautiful, it's one of the most beautiful things we've done. It's going to train us how to feel towards this goal at all points in time. It's gonna it's gonna put the responsibility of keeping the importance of the goal before your eyes at all times. It's gonna make your 10 the panel by which you're thinking about all the time. And it's gonna make it to where it's hard to focus on you because you know when you're doing that, you're not focusing on them. So the last bit of encouragement before I turn it over to my brothers who might want to add what the other part was like, um, start the exercise. And it is definitely okay. You might feel weird about, oh, what if I mess up? Well, think about your 10. It's about your 10. So if you jump in and you go first, and then you end up being an example of what not to do, well, guess what? Your friends are now in a better position to know what to do. So, but at the end of the day, nobody's going to criticize you because that's not our path. It's only going to strengthen our connection. So the head of the 10 exercise is a beautiful thing, and I think it's a beautiful signal that we're reaching a part in our spiritual development where we're maturing and it's on us. So if you haven't started, we encourage you to. All the things are valid, but just know that your 10 has you because it's by their power that you have the ability to do this. So at this point, I'm gonna open it up. I think if one of my brothers who served on the other side of the exercise this week would like to give an impression before we head on, Dante.
Yeah, I want to start off, but I also want to give it over to Dave a little bit after I talk because the what you're talking about now, Torrance, is real. Um, Friends, it when we talk about we toiled, we worked, we fought, we argued, we decide, it was all of that and more of when to start this, how to start the 10, the uncomfortableness. I was a part inside of the document. I think we read it. I don't want to over exaggerate, but at least 5 to 6 times. We read it as a 10 thoroughly before we even had a go live date on like when we would start this. So the process of listening, and we also wanted to make sure that every single friend, even the ones that are not regular, had a chance to once hear the document or read the document. We even had a friend record the document so that those who can't read it are able to actually listen to it. We wanted all participation from our 10. So that for me was the magical part there because it literally brought us together to like respect each other's opinions, their thoughts, why one person wanted to start it and another person didn't want to start it. But the experiment itself, just a part of like the trepidation and the nervousness and the thought of like actually being responsible for the 10, like a mother for a child, caring for their child, was has been magical, as the way I would put it. And I felt a deeper connection between my friends and the different flavors that each one of us bring to the tin. So just the experience itself of reading it and going over it, that sometimes was our lesson, was the document. Because this is how serious we are taking it, and we respect the voices of the friends that are in our tin. So love you all, and we thank you all for, and I thank you all, my tin, for actually allowing each other to experience and express themselves so genuinely, so that we can get to a point that we are now in the exercise starting it. But with that, I would like to pass it over to Dave, which was one of the ones that actually got this, was pushing this fire of the 10, put the document into our chat, and was little by little reminding us from time to time the importance of the head of the 10. And so I'd like to pass it over to Dave for him to say a few words as well.
Thank you, Dante. I would say the big lesson was humans be humanin. It's like we all have this beautiful tendency to kind of want to row in little different directions. And one of the lessons we learned was really slow down, really hear all the friends, not try to jump into it too fast. And by listening to all the friends, I really feel like we opened up Arvut. Like Arvut is, I'm taking care of everyone else, and everyone else is taking care of me, so I don't have to be concerned about myself. And so by doing it slow, we kind of really got into it, and I feel like it was a beautiful opening. And as far as the exercise itself, as Tyrants mentioned, he was the head of the 10 this week. It's like this beautiful ability to see the flavor of that friend. Like we had prior to this just done like scheduled, Thursday, everyone had a different day of the week. But as Tyrants went through it, he kind of like orchestrated this like beautiful experience. And it was one kind of facet of this friend. And I'm imagining as we go forward, each of the friends bring their individual unique flavor, and we can really feel that, and really build this big picture of each of the friends. So I thought it was a great experience. I'm really glad we took our time to really get all the friends on board and hear all the concerns, and get everybody comfortable with it. So I feel like all those little rowing in different directions, we were ultimately able to row in one direction together, and it's a beautiful exercise. So I will pass it over to our wonderful friend, David.
Hello, friends. Yeah, what comes to mind that hasn't already been said is uh, I've got a wonderful 10 here. Every one of these friends you see on the screen are very genuine and serious in this study. And because of that, perhaps we'll have a little bit easier time than perhaps others. I really don't know other 10s and their dynamics and that kind of thing, but I do know this 10 because we work so well together and have been for quite a while now. Not as long as many of you, but for quite a while now. We've come to believe and trust each other to such a high degree that perhaps annulment to each of the head of the 10 as he arrives, his week arrives, will be easier, but I'm sure there'll still be major challenges. I remember wondering what it would be like. How will I respond? Where's my ego going to fly into this exercise? Do I want to go first? Do I want to go last? All of these types of thoughts, and they're all good thoughts to have to know a little bit more about how your ego works within. So I'm just thankful that we started. And Tyrants did a wonderful job for us this first week. We're about to choose the second head of the 10, and this is supposed to be a long-term exercise. So I imagine we'll all have many, many opportunities ahead. So if you start this exercise in your 10 or you already have, um, I think we've been given a wonderful gift from Rav and whoever else put this exercise together. Um, would another one in our 10 like to say anything before we go back to Tyrants?
Uh,
All right,
if
Tyrants.
Well, if not, no, all is well. Yeah, we have again, this 10 is just, it's an honor to serve these people. Um, I get giddy just thinking about it and seeing these faces. But now we'll pass it over to my giant friend Andrew, who's going to talk a little bit about what life in the 10 has been like, and he'll be assisted by some of the other brothers. And so come on up, Andrew. And I also would like to note that Andrew recently went to Holland by himself. He represented our entire 10 and held all of our desires with him, much as our brother Alex did recently when he went to Israel. So truly beautiful friends. Go ahead, Andrew.
Well, no one's ever truly alone, and the 10 is always there connected through invisible bands of connection that bind us together. Just maybe a little bit of background about our 10. We come from the KabU environment. We've been doing Kabbalah, you can call it that, for about 4 years. The first couple years of which were in the young group environment. And then we've been a permanent 10 for about a year and a half now. So just to give you some flavor of our experience, but um, something that, and then also we have four friends on the Eastern time zone, four Central time zone, and one on the West Coast. So we're all across the country. We're a virtual 10. We don't have a lot of opportunities to meet together physically, but when those opportunities arise, we take advantage of those opportunities to the extent possible. So that's something I think David will talk about in a little bit, but um, being spread out across the country, we have to make those efforts every day to connect in the morning, to connect in the evening. And for me, it's a challenge because I have a long commute both ways, and in the mornings I can't lead the 10. I'm in listening mode, so I have to lean on the other brothers here in front of you who take up that slack and who make sure that our morning connections run smoothly and always bringing new content and new excitement. So that's just a word of thanks that I have towards our 10. And a little twist that's been added recently. And I should say, by the way, that this work can get very challenging and difficult at times, but the sense of humor and levity and just joy that so many friends bring to the 10, it's really incredible. Whenever someone's down, there's six other guys that are, smiling, telling jokes. It's serious work, we know this, but we're using every means available, and humor is really key, I think, in our 10 to keeping up that sense of joy and upliftment and that fire that's burning. So um, something a new twist that's kind of been added that kind of came out of nowhere and that's really, I think, fired up a lot of us. I want to mention Sal specifically because he's taken a liking to these haikus that are in the Telegram. There's a Telegram chat dedicated to haikus of just a short, condensed version of the morning lesson. And he's been bringing those forward to us in the morning connection, and it's just been a remarkable way of connecting around the lesson and discussing key themes that come up. So I know all of us in the 10 are very appreciative of that, and what a spark of joy that has brought us. Um, so like in any 10, I'm sure there's pressing corporeal issues that can and do and have come up. And so I know it's been a challenge for me the past few weeks, really being present, but just going back to Holland and what's happening in our 10 recently, there was an incredible exercise that was done there where we had to move chairs from one building to another, and two friends were tied at the ankle, and so we had the experience of being physically connected and moving some furniture from one place to the next, and you get that physical sense of what it's like trying to work together on something. And here, we're virtual, so we don't have that physical connection all the time, but these invisible bonds between us. I was away for a couple of weeks having to tend to some family business, but at all times, even then, I could feel the power, the fire in the tin that was burning. And each friend here adds his own flavor. And together, there's always a core group that's keeping the flame alive, the fire going. And I'm just so very appreciative of that. So maybe I'll turn to Dante and perhaps the Sal to add some additional flame here. But thank you guys.
Yeah, I will keep it brief. I definitely want Sal to share some impression, but man, what I feel like through all of the exercises that is given to us through Bnei Baruch and just the environment, it gives us these nice flavors of ups and downs, and our 10 has been able to gel through the ups and downs. We always try to give high spirits to each other, but we're doing life together as well. So as life happens, you can feel the energy shift when a friend comes in, when they're in high spirits and when they're in low spirits. And I think what we have learned between in our 10 is, as what Andrew was saying, that in those moments when any one of us are at the bottom of the wheel, we know we have friends that are at the top of the wheel that is pulling us up, whether it is through physical smiles or the right article at the right time or a quote or something inside of the chat, just to like remind us that we're not alone on this path, that we have friends in high places, and that this is what this work is about, right? Is going through the storm together and this emerging in, coming out as one man, one heart. And so with that, I would love to pass it over to Sal for him to share a few thoughts.
Well, right off the bat, I don't like the center of the 10. So I found it really, I was very resistant to it. We were doing our haikus, and I love the haikus because they're all over the place. They got a whole bunch of really important points they make. And I go, wow, that blows my mind. I love that. I love that. And then these guys go, well, we got to do the center of the 10. Okay. I don't like it, but I'll keep quiet. We'll do the center of the 10 because I love my 10. So we did the center of the 10. And what it did was after a week, I go, huh, keeps me focused. I have to focus this for a whole week. I don't like it. Well, as the week went by, it got better and better, and I really liked it. And what I love about Tyrants is that he puts us on the spot and we have to tell how we feel to other friends. Oh, I love you. Oh, I really like what you do. I like to go, we have to talk between each other. I don't like that too much, but we do. And after one experience a week, I thought that was really good. I really liked it. Kept me focused. It helped me to understand the point that was trying to be made. And I still like my haikus that put me all over the place because they make some real important points. And then you go like, oh, how's that feel? Good that does good. Oh yeah, how does that feel? Oh, my wife broke her hip. Is that good? The good that does good. Is that good? Yeah, I guess so. I have to look at it. Look at it. And in the meantime, how do you feel about your friends? What do you appreciate about them? And I go, yeah, okay, I have to think about that too. So it kind of really centers you. And I think instead of being the center of the 10, it centers you. It centers our whole group. And I'm really liking it. I'm being honest. But at first, I was very resistant. So I hope I'm not putting you on the spot, but I would like you to continue on. You know I'm going to go to, Alex?
Well, to be honest, I didn't have plans to talk, but when the friends call, we need to do, right? And that's the goal. The to put us in the spot to feel uncomfortable, but that's the beauty. That's I really appreciate everything that come from the tent, from the environment, and for this beautiful exercise of the head of the tent. That's a really, really something that change the dynamic of the things, and it's very, very well appreciated for us to, like Darren say, it's a learning curve. Tyrants think then the head of the 10 is something. I think it's different, and every friend is think different. And when the head of the 10 is doing the job, we just support. Whatever I think it's not important, it's important to the center for the 10. And this dynamic make us every time think more about that, take care of each other, and make this beautiful 120 people's 129 now doing the same. Terence, back to you, please.
Beautiful, friends. Beautiful. Now we're going to hand it over to our brother David Matthews, who is going to talk to us about the importance of the retreat and just other experiences of getting together physically. Go ahead, David.
Gentlemen, we're getting squeezed for time, so please keep it brief.
Yeah, I just looked at the clock and realized to do a synopsis very quick. I thought for the longest time the retreat was for the beginners and the people that have been around a while, like many of you. You go to congresses, not retreats. But I've begun to think that that's not entirely true. You do sometimes have to select between one or the other. But really, what I wanted to share in a brief moment are some statements from people at the retreat. One of the retreats, I don't even know which one. I just watched them, heard them, wrote down their words. So the retreat's a very unique thing, very different than the congresses. One person said the most important thing is that we work on our connection. That's everything we do. But you have prime opportunities at retreats to do just that. Another one said, I was blown away by the love that I felt. It's something that is impossible to find anywhere else. There's so much power that's generated. There's so much energy that's like plugging your phone into a charger. You get charged up. Another person said, it's like we're cells in one body. There's nothing like it. I think that's an indication. I want to invite everyone to a retreat. I assume that's why we're no longer spotlighted. But there is a retreat coming at the end of October, the 29th through the 31st. I believe those are the dates. And everyone's invited. And if you've never experienced a retreat, there is nothing like it. I've done congresses and I've done retreats. And retreats are very, very special in their own unique way. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, David, and thanks to KabU 12 for sharing your feelings. Now with an update from our head of the English department about the Congress. Asaf?
Yes, hello friends. Can you hear me well? Can you see me well? Yes? Okay, wonderful. Okay, Dave, there might have been a little bit of a mix up there in what you said. We have a Congress, a regional Bnei Baruch Congress coming up at the end of October, and that's what I'm here to talk about. Zohar, I don't see you. If you can open your webcam and be available as well. Chaim, I see you. If there's anything that needs to be added on top of me, please jump in and just add. So friends, it's happening. The next Congress is happening. The next degree of Bnei Baruch as a global vessel is coming together. It's shaping up, and we want to take a major part in it. The North American Congress will take place at the end of October. I'll go through the dates in just a second. I just want to say that this is shaping up to be one of the biggest gatherings in our world Kli. In other places, there's going to be a lot of gatherings, but possibly smaller ones. We want to bring everyone from North America and any other English speakers who want to come to North America to this Congress. Zohar, if you're around, maybe open your... Yeah, okay, you can actually share your screen and show some pictures of the place if you have something at hand. In the meantime, I'll tell everyone where it's happening. So the Congress will take place...
I had something I'll share, okay, as you speak.
Sure, yeah. So a few words, friends. The Congress is happening at the end of October. It's happening in a place called Silver Bay YMCA. It's in upstate New York. It's actually hugging the northern part of Lake George. It's a huge area, about 700-acre kind of campus on the
Can you see my
shores.
screen, guys?
Yes, we see it. We actually see a
That's an aerial photo of
yeah,
the premises.
but I think what you're showing is a different screen maybe, because we're seeing your slides.
Yeah, slides of the place.
Yeah, but at the moment we're seeing a cohesive environment designed for connection, etc. If you wanted to show a picture,
Which
maybe
is Silver Bay, the YMCA,
yes.
that's the place.
Yeah, can you show
Or
the
bird's eye
the
view.
pictures? Can you move to the just to show, get a bit of the feel of that? We're seeing the first slide.
Click the next slide.
Yeah, just go to the next slide.
I did.
So you're on the other screen. You're showing it on the other screen. We're seeing the software, not
Okay,
the
I'm just gonna share the whole thing in a
Okay.
minute.
In any case, it's a really beautiful place, guys. It's lots of nature, lots of greenery. It's very spacious, and we can do everything we need. Yeah, that's it. We can do everything we need to do and want to do there. We have the whole place to ourselves, which is incredible. Again, as I mentioned, it's really big. Because it's so big, it's also allowing us to handle a good place for a kids program. So that means that we're actually going to have two events there. So of course there is the main event, which is for us, for adults, for the tens, for all of the friends in North America, for all of our CLE, and that's going to be the main event. But any friend who needs to bring children because you need them with you, you have no other place to bring them, and you just want to bring them to the kids program, whatever the need is, you can do it. We'll have a separate place, and they'll have their own kind of course, schedules and meals and lodging and everything they need. We have room for everything there. We have a big, beautiful place where we can have our lessons and our main activities. We have very good rooming, and I'm emphasizing very good because
Can you
last
see
May.
the bedrooms? Can you see the bedrooms?
Yep. Yeah, we see it. It's great. I'm emphasizing good rooming because last year we were under more difficult conditions. So in some cases, people even had to get their own Airbnb if it wasn't comfortable enough. This time, we just got the best place, really. It is, and this is all thanks to Zohar and his team who worked on it diligently and scoured, all the areas where we can do something. And this is good, and it's also affordable. I'll go into pricing as well. Registration is not open yet. It will be open as soon as we can. We still have a few technicalities to solve. It's very possible that in the next few days, this week, you will already get a link to the registration, maybe with a little video that goes through it so everyone knows exactly how to fill in the registration form. But for now, we wanted to tell you about that this is happening, that we have a great place, that the dates and the rooming and some pricing, so that you already start planning your next moves. So the Congress is happening between the 28th to the 31st. Why 28? If you look at the BB announcements, which you'll be hearing about more and more at the end of lessons and so on, they'll say 29 to 31st. But our Congress starts the evening before. So Wednesday evening is where we start our North American Congress. This allows us, well, a lot of things logistically, but in terms of the schedule itself, it means that we can start and do a proper kind of content block at the evening to bring everyone together. We'll talk about content a lot later on, but now just to give you the general framework for the schedule, that's where we're going to start. Then we can have a good night's sleep, and then we start a full day on Thursday, and then we have a full day on Friday, and then on Saturday we also have half a day. Somewhere around the middle of the day we'll be wrapping up, and then of course whoever can stay and help dismantling things will stay. That's another group activity. And that's basically by the end of Saturday we need to leave the place. So for Wednesday evening, then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday we have the whole place to ourselves. Now, let's talk about the different tiers of rooms. We have a lot of places to accommodate everyone there. There's not going to be any shortage, but we have different levels of rooms, and that's why we're going to have 3 different tiers. So it's also going to be, you can choose the one that's affordable, the accommodation solution that's affordable for you. There we go. I see Zohar is showing us the options. So I'll take you through them really, really quick. If you don't want to think too much, it's very simple. The one that says comfort, the middle option between essential and premium, is probably right for you. Okay, without even going into details, this is probably the room that most of us will take. It means that we will probably be with another friend, maybe 2 friends. I think at most 3 people in a room, and these rooms also have they're very nice and convenient, and they have their own bathroom and everything, and shower, and it's a hotel level kind of accommodation, really different from what we had on May. Hopefully we'll compensate for that convenience with more work between us. We'll be able to clear to free our minds and hearts to work on connection between us with less issues that we need to overcome physically. Okay, so that's the idea. We also have one option that is cheaper. If you can scroll up, this is called the Essential Room. The Essential Room is the most affordable room we can have. This is really good for, I would say, if you really want to save extra few dollars, if you are on the younger side, probably, if you don't mind possibly being with more people in the room, if you don't mind using a shared bathroom with a few other rooms, probably it depends. It depends on the amount of rooms and so on. But that's, if you want to save those extra dollars, this is your option, the Essential Room at $400. Now, these numbers, I'll go to the premium in just one second. These numbers include everything. This is your whole ticket for the Congress. This includes food, 3 meals a day, and everything in between, and coffee and tea, of course, and the accommodation, everything. This is one price for everything in the Congress. The only other thing you'll have to pay for is to get there, to get to the Congress, which of course varies. Some of you will be able to drive, some of you will have to take a flight, of course. So start figuring this out, start looking at your calendars and figuring out how you're going to do this. But this is the cost of the Congress that we can already share with you. So the premium room, so we have the Essential Room at $400, the Comfort Room, which is probably the option that most of us will be going for. And then the premium room. The premium room is a great option if, for example, you are a couple and you want to make sure that it's just you and your wife or your husband or your spouse in a place, and you have your own place there, and of course your own private bathroom, private shower, and all that. Maybe you are a 10. And you're coming to the Congress together, or some of you from a 10 are coming together and you want to share a place. That could be an option as well. All those details will be explained later on and in the registration form. But these are the numbers and the options, the main options you should be aware of. The Comfort Room at $480, and that includes everything, your whole ticket price for the Congress. Then we have on the cheaper side, if you really need to save some extra bucks, that's the Essential Room. And if you really need conditions, maybe you're on the older side, maybe you're a couple, maybe something else, you just need your privacy because that's how your body functions the best. Whatever it is, you have that option at $640.
I'll add to one sentence
yes,
there.
Go ahead.
On the premium side of things, there are a select number of rooms on the site that are they're nicer ones. They're the brand new, fancier rooms. There's only so many of them. Some of you just feel like this is more to your level of comfort. You can use that. Another option for a premium price would be, I want my private room. I want to be alone in a room. I have problems with sleeping with other people in the room. I want to pay a little extra, but to have that privacy. That would be considered a premium room as well. So that's like the reasons why you would have a premium price for someone like that. As far as the cottages and the special, like if a whole 10 wants to be, most of the cottages are the nice comfort level. There are a couple of them that are really fancy, and those would be, again, we would rent those out as the premium prices because they're just a little bit more expensive.
Yes, so basically, as you can see, we really are trying to make with the place something that works for everyone, for everyone. And we know from experience, we know from comments from last May, for some people, it is very difficult to sleep with other people in the room and they just don't get a good enough sleep and then it affects their day. We're trying to solve this. Some people, they don't mind and they would rather save a few bucks in order to, in order to just attend the Congress. So they have that option. We're really trying here to make it, we have the ability in such a place. We have the whole place for us, so we're really trying to make it both affordable and convenient. Convenient for everyone. We want everyone to come to one place and do a major connection in this gathering, in this Congress. Also, we will be talking about this more. This is the one and biggest thing on our minds right now as a North American CLE, preparing for the Congress. We'll hear about this more and more. Chaim, who's part of the content team for the Congress in general and leading the content for this Congress with his team, they'll be coming up with some ways for us to prepare. We'll be talking about this a lot. But one thing I want to say now is that Avihu and Mushi are both coming to North America. This is the plan right now, and it looks like that's going to happen. So they're going to be with us as well there physically. It's going to be great. It's just going to be a huge event, and anyone who was there on May knows what to expect. Now just add great convenience to it, and a higher degree of connection, which we're going to work on. Okay. Last
I have a question that came up while we were talking, just to clarify to anyone who was not sure. Any of these pricings that we talked about is per person. It's not like a premium room is $640 and you could put 4 people in there. That's not the deal. $640 is for someone who wants extra, premium conditions for themselves. And if you're going to be 2 people in that premium room, you'll still pay the premium price for each of you. So that's in any place whenever you had a Congress and there was like a private room option, it was per person. So here too, it's the same situation.
Yes, prices are per person and they include everything, including all the food and all the meals and everything in that one price per person. Zohar, let's talk about the kids program for 1 second. If you can maybe show that part of the form. So as I said earlier,
that is the registration form that you're going to be getting very soon. It's just a couple of bugs that we're fixing and hopefully you'll get them. But you'll be filling out all this information eventually. And the kids program you should see in a second here. We will show you the details of what we came up with to help our kids.
Right. So the kids program. So as I said, in this event, if you are a parent and you want to bring your kids or you need to bring your kids, whatever the reason is, you can. There's going to be a dedicated event at a dedicated place, and they'll have their own schedule and meals and everything, as I mentioned before. And we've been working with the calculations to make it as affordable as possible. We know that some parents just can't attend if they don't bring their children because there's no one else to care for them. We understand all of that. We've really tried to make it as affordable as possible. So here's how it goes. If you have a child aged 0 to 3, they can come in for free. They don't need to pay at all. Any children between the ages 4 and 17 until they're 18, basically, they need to pay. Your first child between 4 to 17 is paying $150. If you're bringing more than one child, your second child will pay $100, and your third will pay, and fourth and so forth will pay $50. So this is, as you can see, it's real, and it doesn't matter what room you will be choosing for yourself as an adult. We will set it up in a way that, of course, you will be close to your children, with your children. All of that will be solved in the form itself. But these are the prices that you should be aware of, that you should kind of plan for, and the dates. Let me remind them. Remind them again. October 28th. That's a Wednesday. Wednesday evening, we'll have a whole block there. That's where our Congress starts. Saturday, the 31st, middle of the day, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., something along those lines. That's going to be the end time of the Congress. So plan your dates, your flights, your needs, days off, your financials. We all want to be there. We will be preparing for this from week to week. This is going to be the one thing we're all focused on until the end of October. So we wanted to give you the news as quickly as possible, and the registration will be opened very soon. Hopefully during the week, we'll send it to your WhatsApp with maybe some short video explanation on the form.
Asaf, I have a question,
Yes.
maybe to you or to Zohar.
Yes.
What if my 10 and I want to stay overnight after the Congress is over, because it's such a beautiful place, and maybe we all want to, just stay there to have like a 10 gathering there, our own little retreat after the Congress. Is it possible?
Unfortunately, I don't think so. Zohar, you want to explain?
Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, once the registration is open, to answer Grisha's question, the rooming will be open also. There will be a rooming team that assigns you according to the choice that you made into a specific room, and then you'll have an assignment of a room. If you want to, like Chaim said, somehow extend your stay another day in Silver Bay, your whole 10 wants to stay or something like that, I'm negotiating right now if they can give us some kind of special package. It won't be through the Congress registration. It'll be some kind of thing that you pay for an extra night over there. I'll try to get a special deal for anyone who wants to use that option. But that's basically where it stands right now, is me negotiating a special deal for anyone who wanted to use it. Come a day before or stay a day after. It's not included, but if you wanted to do that, there are rooms there. It's a huge complex. There are many hotel rooms. People can come and pay and use it. Hopefully we'll get a special deal as a Bnei Baruch deal. As far as meals are concerned, they do serve meals there in their dining hall where we're having the Congress, before and after the Congress. You'd have to buy a coupon there and use the meal form if you want, or there's many restaurants around.
Can we continue and take more questions? What's our time limit? Irina. That's a yes?
Yeah, we can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, let's do a few more minutes.
Information that wasn't said in the registration form. You'll also have the option. Most of us, everyone knows this is a Silver Bay in Lake George, New York. It's not near Newark. It's not near JFK. It's not near LaGuardia. The closest thing that you will find is the closest airport is in Albany, New York. I flew into there. It was very convenient. It's about an hour away from the Albany airport. We will have a transportation team that's going to be setting up either buses or Ubers or taxis or something like that. And what we usually do is not usually, this is what we're going to be doing this time as well. It's a $40 participation for a trip from Albany Airport to the Congress, and $40 from the Congress back to Albany on Saturday. Not anytime you want, any weekday that you want and all that, but the day of the Congress and the day the Congress ends. So on Wednesday, if you're flying in, there'll be a whole section of the registration that shows when your flights are arriving and all that, and that we're arranging transportation for Wednesday midday morning till afternoon to get people to the Congress. We will take care of the logistics of joining you up and all that. The $80 back and forth is basically your participation in it, and we're subsidizing the rest and whatever it's going to cost to help friends get to the Congress.
Speaking of airports, we recommend getting your tickets now, because now is the cheapest. We know that some friends have already got their tickets, and they say the prices are really low.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll only go up from here. So the sooner you get them, the less costly they will be. And also, we sent
Albany
out
Airport, okay?
Yeah, to Albany Airport. we also sent out a volunteers form so that you guys can participate in all the activities and all the duties. You know how important that is. We all remember, right, from May, how much it brought us all together. So please fill them out. So we have you registered and assigned your duties, okay? Maybe we can send them out again.
Great gratitude for that, because already 40 something of you already filled out that form, and it's great, amazing volunteering. Beautiful.
Yeah, the more the better.
Everyone.
Great. We have a few more questions I'm seeing, and also Tyrants and Sasha are raising their hands, so I don't know where to go. Sasha, go first.
Thank you very much. Just little clarification. We're coming, the whole family, me, my wife, and son. We'll sleep in one place. So for my son, it's is it 480 plus 150?
No,
How
no.
does it work?
150 for your child if he's above the age of 3, and for you guys, depending on which room you choose, that's what it's going to cost you. So it's the child full cost is the maximum you're paying for a child is 150, second child 100, and again, if they're age 3 and under, no, we decided to say it's going to be for free.
Okay. Ask, guys, ask away. We want this to be clear. We also know sometimes people get into the registration form and just filling in a bunch of details is, you know, daunting, or we want to make the process really smooth. We also implemented a new technology, so you won't have to create an account in the KabU store in order to register. Anyway, we're working behind the scenes to make this a really frictionless, smooth experience. We want our friends to only think about connecting our hearts. That's the one thing we should focus on. So if you have any other logistical questions, go ahead, just ask away. Tyrants, go.
Okay, 2 questions. So, one, what time should we try to get there on Wednesday?
Right.
What's
So the Congress will start in terms of first activity starting. It'll be sometime evening Wednesday, but there will be. We have the place from early Wednesday, and I know that myself and others who really want to be there early in order to help set up. If you want to be and you're able to come early and be part of the setup team, it could be possible. Zohar is managing this whole aspect, and he will, know more details probably later on. But I assume that will be possible, right, Zohar? If someone really wants to come earlier and help, you'll have something to do with them. Yeah?
We will have something to do with everyone, yes.
Okay. So Wednesday evening is the official start.
Great. Wednesday, probably the official start will, if you plan on being there, imagine that the block of the evening will probably start 5, probably not earlier than that.
Okay, yeah, earliest it looks like I can get in is 3:30, and you said it's like an hour or 2-hour drive from the Albany airport?
It's an hour drive from the Albany airport. Yeah.
From Albany, of course. Anyone who comes, who lands in JFK or Newark, which are probably most people, take into account 4 hours or so drive to the place.
We're not going to be assisting people from Newark or from JFK or from any other airport, because there's just a limit to what we can do logistically.
Right. Quick one from Dave, I see in the chat. Will we be able to be clustered or placed near or with R10? I think that's a yes, right, Zohar?
Yes, we will have a rooming team soon. We'll have someone in charge of that. And in the registration form, you will be able to not only write which 10 you're from and what your study level is, you'll be able to remark there, I would like to be put with my KabU 1210 or close to them. There may be cases where we can actually find a cottage where the whole 10 can sleep in, and that way you have one house to yourselves. In other cases, we'll put you room next to room and have you like a cluster of rooms, no problem.
Richard?
Will there be a meal Wednesday evening?
Yes. It'll probably be part of the block also. It'll be like a Kabbalistic meal together.
Yeah. Also, I see, I can't find it now, but there was something about food. We know that, some people have dietary restrictions, or they only eat vegan, or they only eat veggie, or they kosher, things like that. In the form, we will have a place dedicated for you to write what are your dietary restrictions, and we will see what we can do. We will do our best to accommodate everyone. But these are details we're going to be able to know better later on, right? Zohar, you want to add to that?
First of all, we decided to make things cheap. We'll just eat dry bread with olive oil
Yes.
and onions
That's the
week.
initial plan. That's where we start.
That's how we're saving money. No, I'm kidding. We're going to be sitting now and planning a really elaborate, wonderful meal plan. If Pennsylvania was good food, wait till what this will be. It's going to be amazing, all the meals and everything. And we'll make sure that there's a variety, that there's a buffet for every meal. And we're considering people with, also with, who don't eat proteins or don't eat meat or don't or have some kind of specific needs. There is a place in the registration form to write this down. So if you have a very special, unique situation, we'll probably reach out to you and investigate further. As far as kosher, I heard the question. We, in these events, what we do is what we call kosher style, meaning you won't see cheeseburgers and pork or lobsters, but what you will see is that we were not going to buy the glatt kosher, the most expensive kind of cuts that were slaughtered a certain way with a rabbinic stamp on it. It'll be we will work with what it would be if we didn't have to pay for the premium price of having the stamp that's called kosher. That's basically what it's going to be. And if you have a problem with that, then again, write down in the thing, and we'll see. If there's a condition that we can somehow fulfill. I'm not sure, but we'll try to do our best to help everyone.
Yes.
Other questions?
Okay, Rivka is asking, we are arriving by train. We will be able to find transport to the venue. So again, about transportation, there will be one transportation to the place on Wednesday and transportation from the place to the airport on Saturday. We will include the details on that later on, and you will be able to purchase a ticket for that if you need that as part of the registration. It's going to cost $40 for each direction. So if you need just to get there but not to come back, then you can do just that, and vice versa. If you need both back and forth, it'll cost you $80. Of course, we are subsidizing this. Yes, go ahead.
If you have some kind of special situation, I don't know, Rivka, if you're flying, your train station is 5 minutes away, but it's not on the route that we mentioned, write it in there. When you fill out the form, you will see it says, how are you arriving? You'll say either flying, and then you'll put in your flight numbers and all that information. If you're driving, then obviously there's no question. You just fill in the date that you're coming. And you have an option to write other, meaning, hey, I'm coming into the train station in, I don't know, Silver Bay there. Is there any way I can get a ride from there from 5 minutes away? Then we might just hook you up with someone or figure out something like that. We'll try to accommodate and help wherever we can when it's possible. Imagine that if you're flying into Toronto, we don't have help from getting from Toronto. The funds are US dollars, yes.
Yes.
The price are US dollars.
Okay, I think we answered most of them for now. Of course, friends, we will talk about this a lot more. If you have questions, we will solve all of them. I just want to say something about the behind the scenes here. All those special cases also with regards to food, with regards to transportation, you can rely on the friends. You can rely on the fact that this is, there's nobody else organizing this. It's us organizing it for ourselves. Behind the form, behind the rooming thinking, behind the food, behind the whatever it is, transportation, there's friends. There's friends who want you to come. So we will do our absolute best to serve everyone and to make this Congress amazing for everyone and to make it also convenient for everyone on a physical level. We've heard, impressions from the last one. For some people, it was physically a little more on the struggling side. For others, it was more convenient. People are different. We're trying to really accommodate everyone and really help everyone. So you can rely on that being the motivation here behind every decision that we're making here. Look, we'll talk about it a lot more. I think we're going to conclude. Yeah, Zohar. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a question. You've sent out a volunteer form. Great. I can help in registration. I can help in the kitchen. I can help in this and that. But what if my whole 10 wants to participate? What if my whole 10 wants to be on duty and all that? Know that at this, first of all, if you're 10, for example, we had the great KabU 12 presenting today. Let's say KabU 12 wants to be very generous and they say, hey, we'll arrive, all of us, Wednesday early in the morning because we want to set up and help with the setup as a 10. Wonderful. Just say so and we'll accommodate for it. We'll make it happen. But in many of the cases, the volunteer form is looking for individuals. We're looking for someone who knows audio, who can work in this or can work in that, so we can place people in that. During the Congress itself, the whole Congress will be filled with duties. We have to set up, we have to clear, we have to, change settings in the room. There will be assignments for 10 for every single meal and for every day there that we have to fulfill. And in many cases, it'll be the 10 doing those duties. So the 10 will have duties to do, including, and Chaim will elaborate on this in the weeks to come, including at some point the content will have an actual schedule before us of this is the blocks, and we want this specific gathering of friends, or this preparation for the lesson, or this lesson, or something like that, to be manned by this 10 or 2 10s or whatever they're going to assign. And then you can also volunteer for your 10s for the content blocks when we get to that point.
All right, we'll talk about everything, a lot more. We'll prepare for this Congress. It's going to be also unique in many ways. We'll talk about this later on. For now, everyone should just do a couple of things. Schedule, look at your calendar, Wednesday the 28th to Saturday the 31st. Figure that out, how you're making the time, first of all, and flights. As soon as registration is ready, which again, it's a day or two, hopefully. I really hope that this week, somewhere middle of the week, we'll already send the registration out to you. Then you can register as well. So until then, look at the days off if you need, and flights. Yeah.
Flights, if you're wondering, well, I don't know yet exactly what hour it will start, try to get there as early as possible on Wednesday and to leave as late as possible on Saturday. That will cover you the best. We understand that not everyone, if you're flying from certain places, there are only so many flights a day, then we'll work around you also. But for the most part, the Congress is starting Wednesday afternoon, so we should be there as early as we can, so we can manage to get there from the airport, etc. And on the way back, we'd rather not leave too early because we want to stay to the end of the program and maybe even help with the breakdown and everything, which means the later on Saturday, the better. And you can buy the flight ticket.
We will, once we finalize shuttle times, we will also add that information in as well. Yeah. All right. Okay. Irina, what is supposed to happen now?
Well, thanks, Asaf and Zohar and Chaim, especially for this updated information. It's truly valuable for us. And thanks to all of you for joining us today, and be sure to join us next time. Now with our closing intention. John?
Thanks, Richard. Rabash article number 24. There are 3 times in the work. A prayer is the work in the heart. That is, since the root of man's heart is the will to receive, and it needs the opposite, meaning that it will work only to bestow and not receive, it follows that he has a lot of work in inverting it. And since this is against nature, he must pray to the Creator to help him come out of his nature. L'chaim, friends. Have a great day and great week of connection.
In these times so uncertain, what are we thinking of? Is the world going crazy, or is he sending love? Could it be that his message just goes over our heads, leaving us with the feeling of confusion instead? Alone I am blind, together we see, we need one another to truly be free. Alone I am blind, together we see, we need one another to truly be free. La 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 la
Lahaim friends, thank you, KabU 12. Lahaim brothers.
Hi.
Thank you, Arvut Team.
Bye.